So Chad Clifford, he makes a video, which I'm going to get into in a second, with a bear, which is very, very strange. But let's put that aside for a second. Look, Chad, I know you're trying to explain this in a way that makes sense, and you're trying to justify it. But typically, older men such as yourself, Chad, don't have young men come into their cars. It just doesn't happen. Listen, you could go and you could ask, I don't know, a random 1,000 men that are your age, and just ask them a question. Would they allow a young man, a robust man in the prime of his life, who you refer to as Young Gun? Okay, it turns out that's the name of his company. Okay, but even, let's put it this way. If the guy's company's name was Young Gun, I wouldn't call him that. I would just call him his first name. I'm like, hey, Chief, hey, buddy, what's your name? My name is Bob. I say, Bob, how you doing? I would refer to him, as Bob. I'm not going to call, just because the name of his company is Young Gun. Like if the name of his company was Thick Schlong, I'm not going to say, Thick Schlong, would you like to come into my car? Don't you see how that sounds wrong? I mean, listen to it, Chad. Listen to how it sounds. Excuse me, Mr. Thick Schlong, would you like to come in my car? It just don't sound right, Chad. And I know you're trying so desperately hard to make it sound like it's okay, but it's not. It's not, Chad. And now you have to understand also, you have no witnesses to corroborate your story. How do we know all of this is even true? Like, how do we know that he had, according to Chad, he had a girlfriend with him? Okay, but once again, do we have any evidence of this? Do we have any proof? We don't. The only thing that we know is that there was a young man, robust, in the prime of his life, who you called Young Gun, and admitted that you let him come into your car. You also mentioned there was a camera. So were there pictures taken? Now, I'm assuming, Chad, now just call me old-fashioned, whatever it is, but I'm assuming if you let this young, robust man into your car and he took pictures, you would probably have those pictures because it's your car. This is your personal property. And I'm assuming that he would have shared those pictures with you. So, Chad, would you be kind enough to share those pictures? Now, Chad's going to say, well, he didn't give it to me. So let me understand this correctly. You just let a young man, muscular, at the prime of his life in your car, and all the evidence seems to be erased. Kind of like Enron. Kind of like how Lou deleted his channel and deleted all the evidence. Well, Chad, when people delete evidence, right? Remember how we talked about Hillary Clinton when she deleted all her emails and all of that stuff? Trump made a good point. Why do people do things like that? Why do people delete evidence? It's normally because they're guilty, Chad. It's normally because something happened there that certain parties want to keep private. Okay? So, Chad, we got to weigh out the evidence. You met a young man. As you said, you're the one who classified him as young and robust. Now, you also mentioned he was some sort of a male model because he had a clothing line and all that stuff. You mentioned he had a girlfriend, but it's funny how the girlfriend, there's no evidence of her. Wouldn't he take a picture with him and his girlfriend in your car? Doesn't that make sense, right? I think it does. So in other words, you would only allow the man in your car while the girlfriend's outside by herself? That sounds kind of weird. Were you in the car when he was in the car, or did you just let him go into the car himself behind the steering wheel? Did you let him take a drive, Chad? And when I mean, did you let him take a drive, I'm not talking about the car. You know what I'm talking about, Chad. Did you let him ride you? Chad, look, here's the bottom line. I am very, very, very confident in my sexuality. Okay, and this is the reason I'm able to make jokes. I'm able to make jokes because, Chad, I love women. And because I love women, there ain't a shot in Hell. I hate to use that word because I'm a Catholic, especially on St. Patrick's Day, okay? But there is not a shot in Hell that I am going to let some young guy in my car, who I refer to as young man, and I don't know, allow him to take pictures. Now, see, Chad, you admitted that, though. You admitted he took, where were the pictures? So did he keep these pictures for himself and didn't share them with you, Chad? I find that a little hard to believe. I would think the two of you would take some pictures together. I think you're hiding the evidence, Chad, or deleting the evidence. And when people hide evidence and when people delete evidence, Chad, there is something rotten in Denmark. That's just the way I see it. Video is not financial advice. I'm not a financial planner. This video and all my videos for entertainment purposes only.